Hi, and welcome to WOWTalk. I'm Donna Cappuccitti, a thriving cancer survivor.
And I'm her naturopathic doctor, Darlene Gustin. We're here to encourage, educate, and empower you on your journey to optimum wellness.
Today, Dr. Gustin, we're going to talk about apple cider vinegar.
Yes, that's a really popular topic with my patients these days.
Yeah, you're noticing that? I mean, I go through phases. There's been times in my life where I had it every single day, and I don't even know how to administer it properly or what you should be doing. And then there's times like now where, geez, I haven't bought a bottle in a while. So why don't we start with what exactly is it? Why should we use apple cider vinegar? And how to use it properly. So
Sure.
those are what we'll tackle. So let's start with the background. Let's start with that.
So apple cider vinegar is a food.
Yeah.
It's used to make salad. It's in the grocery store. It's not really a supplement, but it has very powerful medicinal benefits, and it has multiple ingredients in the apple cider vinegar that helps our body in ways that addresses health problems for a lot of people. So the most common thing that people want to discuss and are doing is consuming the apple cider vinegar before having a heavy meal,
Oh, okay.
because it can really reduce the glycemic index, the sugar impact of the meal. And so someone who's eating a large meal late at night, heavy food, or just because, I often recommend that they dilute a spoonful of apple cider vinegar in their water and sip on that prior to eating the meal, because it helps them digest the protein in particular, and it reduces their blood sugar. So whether someone's working on diabetes or weight or metabolism or digestion, it covers a lot of bases. And you shouldn't take it undiluted because it's strong. It could hurt your teeth. It could be just too strong. So it does need to be diluted. Or you could simply start your meal with salad. And
Okay. And use that.
yeah, and then it
Okay.
primes the digestion for the food to come.
Okay. And one thing that we should mention is it's good to get the apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it,
Right. That's
correct?
right. That's
And
right.
is that something, is that like the probiotics? Is that what it is? Maybe you could give us a description of what the mother is. I understand it does help to promote gut health, though.
Of course, yeah. And it's that sediment you see. So it's less
Yes.
processed. And that sediment, maybe it's not attractive, but it's best to buy the apple cider vinegar with that mother. So it just looks like
It's
not
kind of
sand,
cloudy or
but
murky,
cloudy,
right?
cloudy.
It's a bit
Exactly,
cloudy. It
exactly.
doesn't look clear like what we're used to seeing in, let's say regular vinegar. That's,
Exactly, exactly.
you
So
know,
so that would
okay.
be a good one to buy. And and then if you felt worse on apple cider vinegar, that's information. That would say that you have enough acid in your stomach and that you don't really need it. Then you've got like too much of a good thing. So usually when I'm recommending it to a patient, it's because in some way I have determined that their stomach does not have enough acid and they are not digesting their proteins well.
Okay.
It's one of the things that we can see in the live blood cell microscope. It's
Okay.
visible there. But also, patients who are blood type A, they have a body type that naturally makes less stomach acid than other people. So I know that
Oh,
if the patient tells me that they're blood type A, I ask them extra questions in this part of the body. And the other thing is that our ability to make enzymes declines starting at about age 20, to the point that by the time we're about age 50, we're making half as many enzymes as when we were 20.
okay.
So anyone over age 45, 50, I'm asking them those kind of questions. And as Canadians in the winter,
There it is again.
there aren't very many enzymes in our diet in February, because enzymes are most abundant in foods that are in season, tree ripened, and you're eating them raw. So when we're having our strawberries Ontario strawberries in
Mm.
June and Ontario peaches in August. Those are busting with enzymes. But when we're eating
Oh,
foods that were picked green, imported, preserved, frozen, canned, pickled, you don't really have the enzymes there.
okay. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's
yeah,
interesting. Um,
yeah.
Little sidebar story. A friend of mine once had an issue with UTIs. And so she did this regime where she was diligent about taking, I don't know how much, like that's the question too, is how much do you take? She would take a, let's say a tablespoon every day of apple cider vinegar, and I think she still does. And do
Mhm.
you know she hasn't had another UTI since then? So what are your thoughts on that?
Usually people with UTIs, I have them do pH testing to see if in general their body is acidic. And they may or may not be, because sometimes with chronic UTIs, it could be a more structural thing that the bladder is not fully emptying because it's been displaced
Okay.
after surgery or after childbirth. So that's a different situation. But I do see a high percentage of those patients are in an acidic state in their bloodstream or in their urine or both. And usually those patients I talk about baking soda. So
Oh,
another great little medicine in the kitchen. Um, but with apple cider vinegar, I use it more exclusively for lack of acidity in the stomach. So
okay.
so that was a little bit of an unusual example.
Okay.
Um, and for me to know why that's working for her, I would say, what was your pH before?
Exactly, which of course I don't know,
Yeah,
but that's what she told me worked for her.
yeah, good.
So, so what other health benefits would you say apple cider will give us?
It's also known to be very high in potassium.
Oh, really?
So very high in potassium.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so people who have leg cramps, for instance.
Yeah.
But there are some medications, there are some popular medications that you have to go out of your way to avoid potassium. So it's one of those warnings that natural things work. Natural is not safe if you take the wrong thing on the wrong person on the wrong meds. So use
Yeah.
with caution because it is high in potassium. But then there are other people who know that their potassium's low
Yeah.
or just have the symptoms of the cramping, etc. But because it's high in potassium and other minerals as well, it it pulls the fluids deeper into the tissues, and that allows a detoxification to happen as well.
Oh,
So so in earlier days, apple cider vinegar was used a lot by patients wanting weight loss.
yes.
So they were taking apple cider vinegar to slowly detoxify their fat cells. And yes, it does do that, but it is kind of on the slow side. And I think that's largely due to the potassium content.
Okay.
Yeah. And for something like that, I don't think apple cider vinegar alone is going to be the magic cure to weight loss. It
No.
could be one of the little things that, in conjunction with eating better, etc., that if
Hmm.
you know you have high body fat, and then that's another little extra little thing you could do. And and it's something that I measure in people as well. So all of
Oh,
my patients get a body composition test, and let's say they wanted to monitor their response to something I've given them, something they want to do. They want to do their own thing. They just want me to check them to tell them what their progress is.
okay. So you were saying different ways to take it. And so if you just used it on salad, would you use it like regular vinegar? You don't have to worry about diluting it then, right? Because
Exactly.
you're putting it on there with your
Yep.
maybe olive oil or whatever you want, that sort of thing. If you were
Mhm.
just going to take it, let's just say in a cup or something, would you add like a tablespoon of water? Like, do you know what the ratio would be? Do you have any suggestions on that?
Yeah, usually it's a teaspoon to a tablespoon per cup of water. Some people add lemon, some people add ginger, some people add honey, some people add nothing. So
Yeah.
if I had a recommendation for a definite including or excluding any of those, it's based on what else I know about the patient.
Okay.
Or it's just for flavor or variety if you get tired of doing it, if you see that it's working.
Okay. Well, it sounds like something that I need to start doing again. Because, it's one of those routines that I think would be beneficial. I imagine it helps the skin as well, too, right? It must help because
Mhm.
we're moving things along, getting toxins out, that sort of thing.
For sure, and
Yeah.
you're helping digestion. And if someone is a diabetic, I would say keep a close watch. If you haven't been watching your blood sugars, keep a close watch because it works. So there might be a period of time that it's worked so good you need less meds and you have to go back to your medical doctor to adjust that, which is a good thing.
That's a really good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
And
I tell patients to kind of balance it with the rest of their lifestyle. So for me, primarily, I talk about the blood sugar benefit and the digestion. And digestion peaks midday. So our body chemistry is made for a big lunch and a small early dinner.
yes, oh, don't I know it?
Yeah,
I've been talking about that for years. That's the one thing that really helped me with weight loss
yeah,
30, 40 years ago. Oh, not long ago now.
yeah.
But yeah,
So that's more common in Europe, but definitely here in Canada, the vast majority of my patients, their lifestyle doesn't allow the luxury of cooking the big dinner for, 12 to 2 p.m.
yes,
And you're rushing home after school, after work, start your cooking at 5 o'clock. Lucky if you're eating by 6. Many are
yes.
eating at 7. Plus, it's dark, so the body does different things in daytime and nighttime, and digestion's not a nighttime thing.
Yeah,
So when it's dark here at 4 or 5 o'clock, your dinner should be earlier.
that makes
So
sense.
so yeah, so I just explained to my patient how the body works, and if you can't have dinner earlier, if you can't have big lunch, small early dinner, one of the little things you can do is the apple cider vinegar.
That is really smart. Now, is there a certain time of day then, or do we go back to having it midday, as you were just suggesting about the bigger meal, or does it matter when you have it, when you take it?
It's less likely to need it midday because your
Okay.
body naturally is
Oh,
doing its largest production of
all
enzymes
right.
midday.
Oh, that makes sense,
And
of course.
yeah, and you're not going to do it with every meal.
No,
It would
no.
be too much of a good thing. So
Yes.
usually I'm recommending it in advance of their largest meal of the day.
Okay, that makes again, everything you say makes such good sense.
That's good.
Common sense.
It can be part-time, right? I think it all boils down to people understanding how my body works and how does apple cider vinegar work? How does my medication work? How does my supplement work? And
Yeah,
and just that level of patient education so that, when it's a weekend and you had a big Sunday dinner, but it was actually more like a midday big dinner. And then most of the time you don't even want to eat later, but if you do, maybe you'll just have a little cup of soup. So you don't really necessarily need it that day.
okay, that makes yeah, again, another yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that. The other thing that I wanted to say is I don't know if we mentioned this earlier on, but this is a product you can buy at your local grocery store.
of
Like it's
course.
very easy to get. You don't have to worry about going to a health food store. You could get it practically anywhere. And it's not too expensive either. It's
Yeah.
really reasonable and it's great. I love this. The hidden gem that's just on your grocery shelf, you know. It's great. Um,
Food is medicine. Like
yeah,
Hippocrates, the father of medicine, of all medicines, not just naturopathic medicine.
yeah,
He had a famous quote along those lines that let your medicine be your food and your food be your medicine.
yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else we need to touch on, or do you think we've pretty much
No,
covered
I
the
think those
benefits?
are the main highlights. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a short, simple list, but it has widespread benefits in the body.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
keep it
awesome.
simple.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, please send them in. Follow
And
us on social
suggestions
media.
for topics?
Yeah, yeah. Please send us whatever you want us to talk about and something you've been wondering about, that I'm sure we could do the research and help you along your natural path of
Beautiful.
health to health. Anyway, thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.